Good morning, pals. Welcome back to 100 Miles, 100 Days on a $100 treadmill. I'm Tanya. That's my orange bird loungefly. Today we're going to talk about all things Disney, and we're going to walk a mile, and we'll look at those patches that I'm making. So let's get going. Okay, pals, you ready to get this started? Here's the countdown. Come on, everybody. Here we go. And let's ramp it up. Welcome back. Day 62. I'm not going to say it's crazy, even though it's crazy. I'm just super glad you guys are back again and that you're still doing this with me. It's I'm starting to have so much fun because it's, you know, really getting to where I'm starting to see that downhill slope to the prize at the end of Disneyland. So that's getting very real and very exciting. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on with Disney right now. So you may have heard some of the recent news from Disney that Bob Iger is stepping down as CEO, and Josh D'Amaro and Dana Walden are going to be stepping in. Josh D'Amaro as CEO, Dana Walden as the Chief Creatives Officer and President. And so what that means is that, let's see, it's effective March 18th. So in just a little over a month, Bob Iger will be stepping back and Josh D'Amaro will be stepping forward as also with Dana Walden. So what's an interesting thing is that they will be kind of occupying, two people will be occupying sort of the same space that Bob Iger was filling as one person. I think it's a good idea for Disney to do that, to have two different focuses. I think things can get really muddied really fast if there isn't the focus, like what Josh D'Amaro has a focus on parks and entertainment, as far as the type of entertainment that goes on in an amusement park and on cruise ships and things like that. Dana Walden, as a Chief Creative Officer and President, she will, what I'm reading is that she will report directly to him, to Josh D'Amaro, but they're occupying that same space, if that makes sense. So, but she'll be more on the side of creative endeavors as far as the studio goes. So I think one of the interesting things about this is their ages. I don't know why this is interesting to me, but Dana is in her early 60s, and Josh is in his mid-50s. So we are looking at people who are of my age group in that Gen X sort of place. And I think that might be a really interesting place to come from. I'm trying to keep a very open mind in that they are going to be executives of this huge company, and that it's going to be, they're going to be doing what's in Disney's best interests. But at the same time, I hope that they bring that piece of nostalgia of our age group into their thought processes, and realize that we are the generation that are bringing our grandchildren to the parks, and that's a thing to look to, is, they bringing Star Wars into the park was a great idea, and continuing to do things like that, yeah, I'm all for it. It was just announced like yesterday, and it's funny because I've been watching my stocks, and about 3 days ago, Disney stock dropped like significantly. And I mean, significantly if you own a lot of stock, but by a couple of dollars anyway. And which can be significant if you're someone who owns billions of dollars in stock on Disney. But for someone like myself, it's a couple of bucks. But it was strange, because for me, I'm used to seeing it hold at somewhere between like $113 and $116 per share. And suddenly, a couple of days ago, it dropped down to 107. I was like, I wonder what's going on. And then this announcement was made, and it's pretty much popped right back up to where it was before. So who knows what goes on behind closed doors with people buying and selling their stocks when they find out there's a change in management. There's always fluctuations in stock prices, but it was just one of those like, I wonder what's going on. And then this was announced, and I went, oh, okay. Because I'm not good at predicting stocks at all, but I feel like I can kind of look back on what's going on and go, oh, I see, that's why that happened. But then again, if a person could time the stock markets, a person would already be rich. So a person is not. Anywho, I just thought that bit of information was interesting. It'll be interesting to watch as we go along through this year. And like I said, those positions will be beginning in the middle of March. Bob Iger is going to stay on until the end of the year, the end of 2026, to be available to kind of mentor, or not completely step out and leave a void, but to help transition the company into the new era. So whether that's exciting or not, I don't know yet. I'm usually one to stand back and observe for a while before I get excited about anybody or anything. So, but then when I do get excited about it, it is super excited. And I hope that I can get super excited about what these two have to bring to Disney. I really hope that they are the kind of people that they appear to be, which are people who are excited about Disney and where it's going, and they're fans of it as well, and not just interested in acquisitions and making their shareholders money, but thinking long term and creating new fans on a daily basis and retaining us old fans as well. I do not envy that position. I think I would fail at every corner. It's funny when we think about those kind of things like, oh, I would do it so differently and I would do this, that, and the other thing. And well, I would be the one who would be happy, but that doesn't mean that anyone else in the world would be happy about my decisions on how to run Disney. And on that note, what I want to do is start a recording because I want to look at a couple of things that's going on in the parks right now. So, haven't done one of these in a while, so I gotta run through my repertoire. And I'm gonna open my Disneyland app. And what I'm gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and scroll down to the hours of operation today and today's show times. We're going to click on the area that says Disneyland Park. That is going to take us to the park hours and info. And what we're going to do is scroll over till we hit March. We're going to look at something. We're going to look at Friday the 13th. And we're going to scroll down and we're going to see that Jungle Cruise, Oga's Cantina, Star Wars Rise of the Resistance, Golden Zephyr, and Grizzly River Run are still closed for refurbishment. And then we're going to scroll back up and we're going to click on Saturday the 14th. We're going to scroll down and something's missing. So Oga's Cantina is going to be opening back up on March 14th. We're going to be there on March 15th. It's opening up just for us. So that's exciting. I honestly didn't expect it to be opening back up again so soon. So that's cool. I've been hearing that there are going to be references to the original trilogy now in Oga's. I don't know what that means, so hopefully we'll be able to get in there on the 15th or 17th when we're there and be able to get some footage to get back to you guys so that we all know what exactly that means. But now we can actually look all the way out to March 18th just to see what's open and what's not. So even by the 18th, Golden Zephyr will be opened back up, but Rise of the Resistance and Grizzly River Run and Jungle Cruise, bummer, are still going to be closed for refurbishment. I'm sad because the Jungle Cruise is always, I will ride that every day that I'm in Disneyland. It's so silly. And there's just nothing better than the eighth wonder of the world, the backside of water. There's nothing better. It's the best joke. I can hear it a million times and still want to chant O2H along with it. But anyway, that's what's going on there. So I've also done a lot more work on those patches, so let's go ahead and take a look at that. All right, pals, we are going to start in on the numbers today for the patches because I think this is just going to be the easiest place to start to show you my process. I know I'm kind of jumping around. I tend to do that when I'm creating. So first thing I did was I went ahead and this is the same font that I use for the thumbnails on the videos. And it's pretty simple how I do this. I think, anyway. So what I want to do is I want to make these patches like 3 layers. So I need to pick a color for the outer layer that I want it to be. So the color that I want the number to be. Then I need to pick a color that I want to contrast that color directly underneath it. And then I'm going to pick like a black or something to really enhance the whole thing if I feel like that's necessary. So usually, I think what I'm going to do is do each of the 100s, you know, like the 100 miles, 100 days, $100 treadmill. Each one of those 100 blocks will be different colors from each other, but consistently colored throughout that 100. So the purple is nice, the blues are nice, even the pinks are nice. And those could all kind of go together pretty nicely, blue, purple, and pink. So I'm just going to go ahead and start with purples and see where that gets me. So I've got a couple different choices here. These two are actually quite nice together. I don't know if it's going to translate well onto the camera, but these are kind of, I don't know, all of these are kind of Yzma's colors to me, so that's attractive to me. So I think I will do I think I'm actually going to do the darker color on top. See if these are actually going to be big enough for me to do this with. I think I can get all of those out of one piece of felt. I'm just going to cut that edge so that I can place it as close to the edge as possible. Cut this as well. That way I can just get this right up to the edge so that I'm using every little piece of the fabric, or of the felt. I mean, it is fabric. So what I do, it's very simple. So I just use some Scotch tape and I tape the pattern down, taping down the sides that basically I don't have to cut. And then I'm going to start cutting out around that number. And I'm holding the pattern and the felt together. Making sure that I keep those even with each other. And if I need to, this is why I'm starting with these numbers, because they're a lot simpler than the other shapes that I'm going to be doing when I'm doing the characters. So I just, as I finish, I add some more tape to the edges, just so that when I get back around to the starting point, everything has stayed in place. So you can see now that that's cut out nicely, and I'll set that one aside. And I'll take out one of my zeros. The biggest reason that I use Scotch tape instead of trying to pin these is because I want everything as flat as possible when I'm cutting these out. And if I pin them, it's going to leave a divot. You know, I have a pin here. I could show you that if I pinned it, it would leave a divot in the fabric there, and so everything wouldn't lay flat as I'm cutting it out. And that just causes all kinds of problems, especially, it's not so much with these bigger pieces, but when I'm working with those smaller pieces that we'll get to when we get to the characters. And there it is, 1 mile. Congratulations, pals. All right, congratulations, pals. Good job today. Day 62, 62 whole miles. Thanks again for joining me on 100 miles, 100 days on a $100 treadmill. I'm Tanya. Those are my little mermaid ears. This is my backyard, and we'll see you again tomorrow, pals. Bye. All right, so I'm pretty sure every time I said Josh's full name, I was saying it wrong. It's Josh Tomorrow, like tomorrow with a D.